So it's official, the Menendez brothers will probably end their lives in jail, and I'm so upset. But there is a little hope. Here's why a court decided to still deny them their freedom with parole after a nationwide demand to get them out this year, and a released audio recording from court of Erik sticking by his story explaining why he had to unalive both of his parents. The Menendez brothers have been in prison for 36 years after unaliving both of their parents by shooting them with a shotgun at point-blank range in their Beverly Hills home in 1989. But a lot of people say the brothers are the real victims in this because they claim self-defense in the fact that their father would physically abuse them and genuinely threatened to unalive them if they ever exposed him. And if you knew the dad, he had all the capabilities and other people to do it for him if he had to. And that abuse genuinely did happen, as Erik's dentist came out and showed that there was proof of oral abuse in Erik's mouth when he was a young child. There was an extreme uptick in public intrigue for this case as the Netflix Ryan Murphy show Monsters came out, and it begged the question, who is the real monsters, the parents or the two sons? And Cooper Koch was nominated for an Emmy for the series, and he has regular contact with Erik Menendez, and those two were talking like they were just waiting for Erik to get out. They both really thought it was gonna happen. And by the way, there's been like a million TV shows portraying what has happened to them, and so many 20-something men being Lyle and Erik. All of this, plus proof that the dad had other victims of young boys that he would abuse, they finally got resentenced, and for the first time in 36 years were given the possibility for parole. And that day happened this week when they had their hearing. 18 members of their family showed up advocating for them to be released. And while Erik and Lyle were holding their breath, having all their hope in the world that they would be released, they said to their now 50-year-old faces, no, you're not being released. And just like this New York Times article says, after 20 years of a buildup of hope, it was all crushed in just 2 days. Part of the reason they said they wouldn't let them both out is because they somehow snuck cell phones into the jail, and that's a violation of rules. They specifically said they wouldn't let Erik out because he's the one who put the final blow into the mother, and they felt like he didn't have to do that. But in this audio that was released, Erik said that there was no other option for them to run away or keep the mom alive because she was complicit in following through with whatever plan the dad had.
My purpose in getting the guns was to protect myself in case my father or my mother came at me to kill me. Running away was inconceivable. Running away meant death. He had trained me to believe that running away meant death. I knew it.
Even though Lyle is an incredible inmate and started a program at the prison to help other survivors of abuse, they told him to his face that he is still problematic because they noticed he still exemplifies traits of someone with antisocial personality because he sometimes lies, deceives people, and has a minimization for the truth and doesn't care about the rules. That's such a big accusation for someone who just snuck a cell phone into prison. And how can Gypsy Rose hire a hitman to kill her mom and get out of prison like 7 years later? There is a little bit of hope as the court commissioner seemed to insinuate that Lyle will one day be free and one day they will grant him parole. He's just not ready yet. For Erik, they did not say that, but they did say they could have made this a lot worse and given them a 15-year wait period for their next parole hearing, but they're only gonna give them a 3-year wait period. But they're not getting any younger, and this is so unfair.